Now, every year, JFF rolls around. I try and make you watch more and more JFF films.
Hey, I've seen Battle Royale.
All right, okay. Well, thank you for that.
I
you
do
mean
like,
the Hunger Games?
Yeah. I do like Japanese films, and the Japan Film Festival that tours around Australia is a great opportunity to see a bunch.
Yes, and one of the ones that I made you watch this year that you seem to have enjoyed, taken to more than I thought, is Hentai Come Into the Abnormal Crisis.
So it's the second film in the series. It's an unusual superhero story.
So basic premise. He's the son of a dominatrix and of a cop. So he's a pervert for justice. And when he puts on his girlfriend's panties, he turns into basically
superhero.
an unstoppable
Yes.
beating machine.
Who uses perverted fighting techniques
Yes.
to defeat his enemies.
It's exactly
Mostly involves rubbing them against his crotch.
Yeah, that's where the power comes from.
Yes.
The thing about it is, it really is probably the most trauma film made in Japan. Like it harnesses the hero's journey really well.
Yeah, it is that sort of classic superhero story, that hero's journey, but it completely embraces its B-movie-ness.
And the absurdity, yeah.
Yes.
And that's the thing, it plays strong into that. The hero's journey actually follows what you would expect. You know, he learns ways to reactivate his powers, blah, blah, blah. But it conveniently takes the piss out of it at every single point, which makes it a better movie for it.
I mean, obviously, if that's the idea of the fact that it's a superhero who puts panties on his face and becomes, perfect for justice, thinks that could be amusing, you'll really like this film.
Yes.
If you think that's stupid, you're probably not going to like the film.
Yeah.
It's something that, like...
But then I think there's something wrong with you, so...
Yeah. But I mean, like, it's very, like, okay, it's going to appeal to certain people, but those people will really like it.
Yes. The other one is, you watched another movie that was in a kind of a twist on my previous
Before
one.
we segue across, I would say this film is actually probably one of my favourite superhero film of the year. Better than, X-Men, Civil War, Batman vs Superman, probably better than Deadpool.
Yeah. And
they all blur together.
Yeah. Liam would have changed his mind if he saw Bingle Dingle Cumberbane in a
Probably better than Doctor Strange as well.
The other one was Kampai, For the Love of Sake, which is an American documentary about Japanese brewing. So,
yeah, well, look, I do love docos. This was a bit different because it wasn't necessarily about sake or the history of sake or how it's made. It's more about 3 different people who are involved or their life revolves around it, including 2 brewers, one Japanese who comes from a long line of brewers, and also one guy from the UK who spent 25 years in Japan. And then there's also...
the American.
Then the American, who is the sake evangelist who teaches, writes about, and spreads the word. So the brewers were really interesting. You get insight into their lives and also about what it takes to brew.
It seems a bit shallow on the surface, though. It seems like it doesn't really go into the history of it as much.
Yeah, so it's more focused on these three people and how sake affects their life, or why it's such a big part of their life, as opposed to a general overview of them.
Is it still worth watching, though?
I think so, definitely.